Well, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Ascent Online. We are so glad you guys are joining us, both you guys here, right here in the Tire Center, and those of you at home. It's March. We are super excited to jump into a new series. We're going to be talking about different opportunities that we have, different things that show up in our lives, and the decisions that we get to make. And we're gonna get to know each other a little bit more. So what I did is I called Molly here, and here's what I want to do. We're gonna play a little game. We're gonna play a little game to try to see, what decisions we made in our lives. How, who are we? How do we shape? How do we know each other? So this is a game called Two Truths and a Lie. I don't know if you guys have played this. Very, very easy game. I'm gonna win for sure because Molly is just terrible at lying. But the way this works is we're gonna go back and forth. You guys can play with this too. I'm gonna tell you two things that are true about me and one thing that isn't, and you're gonna try to guess which one of those was a lie. And me, since I'm such a, I'm gonna be able to win this. I'll be able to guess her lie super easy. But you can try to guess on mine if what I said is a lie or what's true. With her, who guesses what's a lie. And then if you're playing with anybody at home too, you guys can play this too. So here we go. I'll start us off. I'll start this off. Are you ready? You ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready to win.
Yeah. All right. We'll see about this. Okay. First statement about me. I once competed in one of the original Pokemon card tournaments. Like when Pokemon first came out, I bought the cards, and we didn't just buy the cards. I played in an actual tournament in a Barnes & Noble. Statement number two is I have never ever been stung by a jellyfish in the ocean.
Okay.
And statement number three is that I grew up on a functional farm where we had animals and plants and tractors and that kind of whole deal.
Okay. Interesting. Let's see. So farm. You seem like you grew up on a farm, so I think that's the truth. I don't know. Let's see. Jellyfish. I don't know. Let's see. If you're on a farm, you probably weren't by the water very much, but you also could have gone on vacation. So let's see. I don't know. Pokemon one was very, very specific. It had Barnes & Noble. It had a lot of really specific stuff to it. Let's see. I've never heard you talk about Pokemon, so that's your lie.
Incorrect! I actually did compete in one of the first Pokemon card tournaments. That's why it was small. It was in Barnes & Noble. And I bring up the jellyfish one. I have been stung, which wouldn't be surprising because for some reason when we grew up, my dad taught us, I don't know if you guys ever seen jellyfish wash up on shore, but this is a true story. We would pick them up and throw them back in the water. And it turns out that if you pick up a jellyfish, it's a really easy way to get stung. So anyway, all right, your turn. Let's see if you can... See if I can get you.
Let's see. Okay, my first one is I grew up with 8 dogs. My family had 8 dogs growing up. Second one is that, my dad's middle name is Dennis.
How would I?
And my third one was that I got chased by a crocodile when I was 2 years old.
Interesting. What do you guys think? The crocodile one seems fantastic, but for some reason I think maybe that did happen. The middle name of your dad, I don't know. I can believe I've seen him before. He could look like a Dennis. To me, 8 dogs. I mean, you're a dog person. That's a lot of dogs. I'm gonna say I don't think there's no way you had 8 dogs.
I did have 8 dogs.
What?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. The lie was my dad's middle name is not Dennis.
So wait a minute, so you have been chased by a crocodile?
I have been chased by a crocodile when I was 2. I was in North Carolina, and I was on the beach, and there was a crocodile that came and chased me. My dad had to scoop me up and run away from it.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I've had an encounter with near-death experiences. So,
all right. 0-0. Okay. I know how you guys are doing. Let's try another one. Here's another one for me. We'll go on the same train here. I had about 10 years ago, I had a nationally ranked Tetris high score.
Sounds really cool.
Statement number 2, I also owned the very first Lego series ever made. Like not just like there's like Lego Ninjago or there's like Hogwarts. Like there's like series. I had the very first one they ever made.
Okay.
And that I have played basketball since I was probably 10 years old and could dribble a ball.
Okay, let's see. The Lego one, the very first, it's kind of hard to believe, but also, let's see, a lot of their collections are pretty new, so I'm gonna say that one's true. Let's see. I think you always talk about running, so I'm gonna say I know you're pretty tall, but I think that the lie is basketball. I don't think that you're basketball. Ha!
Dang,
Yes!
she's right. I thought I'd get you on that. Everybody always thinks I play basketball because I'm tall. I actually really don't, and I'm really bad at it.
Yay!
I thought I'd get you on that one. All right,
Nope.
all right, fine. Point Molly.
Okay.
I'll get it back.
Okay, I've gone camping in the forest in Canada. I played the viola growing up.
What is a viola?
It's kind of like a violin, a little bit bigger. And I've traveled to Europe by myself.
Is a viola a real thing? Is that big thing that you play like this?
No, that's a cello.
I don't even know what a viola is. There's no way. I don't believe that. The viola is a lie.
I did play the viola growing up.
What?
I've never
Come
gone.
on. There's such a thing as she's lying right now.
It's
There's
like
no
a
way.
little bit bigger than a violin, and I played that for about 2 months growing up.
Oh my
lie was I've never been to Canada, so I haven't gone camping there. That was my lie.
Ugh.
So I have 1 point. He has 0
Okay,
points.
last round.
Okay.
All right. Final round. Here we go. Okay, statement about me. One time when I was diving into a pool, I dislocated my shoulders, popped right out of its socket just from
Ow.
diving into the pool. Terrible moment.
Yikes. It hurt.
Similar to your dogs, when I was growing up, we had 30 cats. And we named them every character in the Winnie the Pooh show, and then once we ran out of characters, it was just like Tigger 2 or Eeyore 4, whatever it was.
Interesting.
And my fourth statement is that I can speak 4 different languages.
Interesting. Okay. Well, since you grew up on a farm, I believe that you had that many cats. So I think that one's true. Let's see. What was your first one again?
First one was that I dislocated my shoulder diving into some water.
Okay, let's see. Well, you're pretty uncoordinated, so I think that one could be very true. I'm gonna say that your last one is the lie.
Ah!
Yes!
Yes! It's true, I did dislocate my shoulder diving into water, and I thought I had you there because I technically took 4 languages. I took French, I took Greek, I took Latin, and I took Swahili. But I can't really speak any of them.
That's okay. You know what? That's fine.
Okay, whatever. I'm still gonna get this last one. Here we go. Come on,
Okay.
one more.
Let's see. Okay, my last ones are, my mom still cuts my hair. My elementary school mascot was a bobcat. And my favorite cartoon growing up was Winnie the Pooh, which is funny that you named all your cats after that, because that was possibly my favorite cartoon growing up.
Okay, you grew up in the mountains, so I believe the mascot was a bobcat.
Okay.
As much as I think you probably need your mom to cut your hair, I'm not
Really?
sure that makes sense. I don't know if I buy that one. And I believe you watch Winnie the Pooh, so I'm gonna say I think you're lying about your mom cutting your hair.
Nope, that's very true.
Oh, come on! No way! Ah.
My mom still cuts my hair to this day. It's
Oh my.
free and she's really good at it. My my elementary school mascot was a wildcat. It was not a bobcat. So.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
So
what?
I won.
Yeah,
2-0.
whatever. Let's not worry about that. You know what? Let's do something that we can both win at or have a little bit of fun with. We're gonna go into a time of worship. We got a great song for you guys. So come on your feet. Let's dance around. Let's have a great time. We'll check back with you guys in just a minute.
No, I won't be afraid. You are with me. You are right beside me every day. Even when it feels like everything's going wrong, I can look up to you, God, and find my strength. Your love is lifting
stories of the Bible. Samson and Delilah. This is Samson,
Hey!
who was the last judge of Israel. Samson was very strong, and he was supposed to bring God's people victory over their enemies, who were the Philistines. Now Samson fell in love with a woman named Delilah.
Oh, hey there.
Hi, hi.
And the Philistines came to Delilah
What's going on?
and convinced her to find out what the secret to Samson's strength was. They promised her a great amount of money if she could do this.
Now you're talking.
Hey!
Come in.
So Delilah said to Samson, "Please tell me what makes you so strong, and what would it take to tie you up securely?"
Well,
Samson replied, "If I were tied up with 7 new bowstrings that have not yet been dropped, I would become as weak as anyone else."
You ain't here.
So the Philistine rulers brought Delilah 7 new bowstrings,
Look what I got.
go on, try.
and she tied Samson up with them.
Haha, see?
Oh no, Samson!
She cried out, "Samson, the Philistines have come to capture you." But Samson snapped the bowstrings,
Let me at him!
so the secret of his strength was not discovered.
Hey, wait a minute.
Afterward, Delilah said to him, "You've been making fun of me and telling me lies. Now please tell me how you can be tied up securely."
Alright.
Samson replied, "If I were tied up with brand new ropes that had never been used, I would become as weak as anyone else."
Let me try.
So Delilah took new ropes and tied him up with them.
See?
Oh no!
And again Delilah cried out, "Samson, the Philistines have come to capture you."
What? Where? Let me at him!
But again Samson snapped the ropes from his arms.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Then Delilah said, "You've been making fun of me and telling me lies. Now tell me, how can you be tied up securely?"
Alright, I'll tell you.
Samson replied, "If you were to weave the 7 braids of my hair into the fabric on your loom and tighten it with a loom shuttle, I would become as weak as anyone else."
Now we got him.
So while he slept, Delilah wove the 7 braids of his hair into the fabric. Again she cried out, "Samson, the Philistines have come to capture you."
Let me at him!
But Samson woke up and yanked his hair away from the loom and the fabric.
You gotta be kidding me.
Then Delilah pouted, "How can you tell me I love you when you don't share your secrets with me?
Come on.
No.
You've made fun of me 3 times now, and you still haven't told me what makes you so strong." She tormented him with her nagging day after day until he was sick to death of it.
Alright already!
Finally, Samson shared his secret with her. "My hair has never been cut, for I was dedicated to God as a Nazirite from birth. If my head were shaved, my strength would leave me, and I would become as weak as anyone else."
Well, that's it.
Thank you.
Delilah realized he had finally told her the truth,
Hey, you.
so she sent for the Philistine rulers. "Come back one more time," she said, "for he has finally told me his secret." So the Philistine rulers returned.
Oh, Samson.
Delilah lulled Samson to sleep. And then she called in a man to shave off the 7 locks of his hair. Samson's strength left him. Then she cried out, "Samson, the Philistines have come to capture you." When he woke up, he thought, "I will do as before and shake myself free."
Oh, what's going on?
But he didn't realize the Lord had left him. So the Philistines captured him and took him to prison.
Well, hey guys, like I said, we are going to be starting a new series for this month. We're talking about different opportunities, different things that come up in our lives, and the choices that we can make around them. I don't know if you guys caught it in this story, but Samson, through the course of his experience, had a lot of choices to make, had a lot of opportunities where he could have done one thing or he could have done the other. A lot of times he decided he wasn't going to tell Delilah what was going on about his hair, and then eventually he did, and that had some bad consequences with it. And really what I see in that story is this idea of peer pressure. I don't know if you guys have ever talked about peer pressure before, but peer pressure is when the people around you, sometimes they're your friends, sometimes it's just like schoolmates or just people around you, want you to be a certain way, want you to say a certain thing or act a certain way. And maybe you agree with it or maybe you don't, but you feel like, I don't know if you guys have ever been peer pressured, but it feels like you have to do what they're saying. It can be really, really hard, actually, I think, to go against what it is that most people are doing, or even to disagree or to not do what even some of your friends are doing. I know for me, in third grade, we got into this, we used to, at recess, we would do like really, really intense tag. And it turned into boys against girls tag. It was a lot of fun. And the way we did it, if you tag somebody, they were it. And I made friends with a couple of guys that just, I don't know, they played maybe a little too rough, or they were kind of mean guys. I don't mean to be like shady or anything like that, but they were mean guys. And what they would intentionally do is, when we were they would really shove some of the girls, like run up behind them and shove them so they would fall down. And I remember the way we played. I remember I tagged one of them, and the guys came over and said, "Come on, like you gotta really show them, like shove them with that." And it felt weird, and didn't feel like what I should do. And I remember, but at the time, they were my friends, and I wanted to make sure that they were happy, and I wanted to make sure that they didn't get upset or something like that. So I remember, and I'm really, honestly, I'm kind of ashamed about this. I remember I ran up to one of the girls, I really shoved her in the back, and she ended up tripping over herself, and she like hit a fence, and like it wasn't bad, but had like a little cut in her head, and I felt terrible. She was like crying. Not only did I feel terrible because I kind of got peer pressured into doing something I didn't want, but then honestly, guys, I got sent to the principal's office, which, like, I don't know about you guys, but that was like the scariest thing that's ever happened to me, was getting sent to the principal's office. And I remember the whole time, our principal was mad at me. My parents got called, and they were like, "What are you doing?" And I remember thinking, what was I thinking? Why am I doing this? Why did I give into something that I really didn't feel good about just because I wanted to make friends happy? I wonder about Samson when he finally told Delilah that my strength is in my hair, and then it got cut, and then he couldn't be the person that God had called him to be. I wonder if he just sat there going, "What was I doing? What was I thinking?" Have you guys ever been in that spot? If you have, you know that it's a terrible spot to be in. And what I want to encourage you guys with is it is something really, really powerful to know that actually this is who I want to be. This is the person maybe God has called me to be. This is who I'm trying to be. And sometimes it actually feels like, I don't know if you've ever seen boats moving down a current, or if you ever swam in a current, it feels like being swept downstream. And sometimes it can be really hard to stand up and hold yourself against that current. But I want to encourage you guys to do that. The way I think about it, ever since third grade, what I've thought about is, if I were the hero in one of the shows that I'm watching, if someone was writing a chapter in the book of my life, how would I want that story to end? Have you guys ever thought about, in the decisions that come up in your life, as you try to navigate, what do I do? How do I pick the right decisions here? Have you ever thought about, what's the story? If this were a story, would this be a good chapter? Or would this be a bad chapter? Would this be something I'd be proud for someone to read about? Or would it be something I'd be like, "Oh, I hope nobody sees this. Can I tear this out of my book?" Guys, if you've had a moment like I did, where it's like, "Oh, I wish I hadn't done that," you got to know that our God is someone that always forgives, that always gives a second chance. You can be the person He's calling you to be right now. You don't need to hold guilt with it. And so right now, let's be those people. And let's be those people that if someone were writing a chapter about this season right now about your life, that it would be exciting. That's what I really hope for you guys. So this week, guys, what I really wanted to have you guys think about or be encouraged about is Mom,
Hey, Chris.
hang on. I'm talking to the crowd here.
No,
So what I'm
hey,
trying to say is this.
Hey.
Hang on a second. This week, what I really.
I have something to
What? Gosh.
I just have something to say, okay?
Okay. What do you want to say?
Okay, so I just want to tell you guys that, that story that we just heard about Delilah, like constantly nagging Samson, it didn't work out so well that way, but actually, guys, that's how God wants us to approach Him, through prayer. There's a story that Jesus tells in Luke 18 about prayer and how we're supposed to nag God. We're supposed to come to Him. And, in the story, it talks about this widow that goes to this priest and she constantly knocks on his door just to ask him something. She constantly seeks his help and she doesn't stop. And it says, the priest is kind of ignoring her. He was kind of like, no, I don't want to hear it. But then she kept on nagging. She kept on saying, hey, she kept on knocking on the door just to ask him and present her request to him. And eventually he listened. And Jesus says that this is actually how we should go to God when we pray, that if we have something that we need to ask for, or if we just want to talk to God, that we get to constantly just ask. We get to constantly try and tap Him on the shoulder when we pray. And that what's so amazing about that is that God actually wants us to. He doesn't get irritated. He doesn't get annoyed about it. He looks at us and He said, yes, please nag me, please ask me. And without ceasing, without stopping, without getting worried about, if we're being too needy or if we're asking too much, Jesus says that God wants our prayers. He wants us to keep seeking Him over and over and over again. And He will come to us and He will love us and He will want what we have to bring with Him. So guys, that just encourages me so much. I hope it encourages you guys. And when I'm super encouraged, I love to worship. So we're gonna go back into another time of worship. So stand up and I hope that you guys will join us.
Whatever the distance or darkness, you're with me. You're with me. Whenever I'm failing or falling, you've got me. You've got me.
When is a time in your life that you felt peer pressured? What did you do? How do you want to be remembered? If someone were writing a chapter about your book, what would you want it to say? What's a choice right now you are trying to make? Have you thought about nagging God with what it is that you hope he will do? What would it look like to try praying constantly to him to see what he'll say?